It is exactly 10:15 p.m. on this Tuesday, December 31st, 2013, and all of my business partners have left the office for the evening. But before I leave, I wanted to discuss and reflect on a very, very significant day of my life, which is today. And why today is so significant? It's because today is the day I consider to be my 1-year anniversary of when I became an entrepreneur, and that requires me to explain what was so significant of December 31st of 2012. Well, what happened on that day was me and a very dear friend of mine, Vince, met at a McDonald's to set up my very first online-based business. And I remember we met at the McDonald's, and then we went to my bank and then his bank and then back to the McDonald's to use their Wi-Fi. And we finally set up my first online business. And then we sat there and we talked about owning McDonald's and owning other franchises and calculating how much we would earn per month and all that fun stuff. And to think that that was the beginning of our business relationship. And today, a year later, we are well on our way to manifesting those very out there dreams, but it's becoming a reality. It wasn't crazy. It's not so outlandish. We are actually making it happen. But before I want to talk about now, I want to continue talking about what happened to me then. So in order for me to begin this adventure with Vince, I like less than a week ago, prior to December 31st of 2012, a week prior to that, I needed a car, and I went to CarMax to get a car, and I got this. On Friday, I went and saw the car, and on Saturday, I bought a $19,000 car. I signed the check for $19,000, and before leaving, I saw Vince, and I didn't know he worked there, and it was several years since we really caught up as we kind of diverted after high school. But after discussing with him and seeing that he was making money through other means, something that I really wanted to do is make money through other ways, but I just was stuck with school and I didn't have time to do a traditional business, so he was making money online, and I was very interested in that. And I remember we met up that same night, and the next day I returned this $19,000 car so I would have money to begin this business and take it very seriously. And then it was on December 31st that we actually sat and made the account and funded the account. And on January 1st, I got my first earnings, and it was exactly $34. And I woke up that morning and I logged into my account and I saw $34, and I got so excited. I called Vince and I was like, "Hey, I made $34," and he's like, "You haven't seen anything yet." And from there, it was my first introduction to making money outside of the traditional brick and mortar business, and I basically got my feet wet because I think it was a great transition from someone who never made money online to the first business that I started with. Was a good transition. It wasn't something very complicated, and it was almost fun. It was fun. It was really fun. And then we transitioned into bigger businesses, and then at a certain point I became not just his client, but I became his business partner, and from there we started working on a project together, and that grew to the point where I was able to stop working and fully just engage with online business because of how much we were making. And then we grew to an even bigger step when we expanded our partnership with 2 others and opened up this office. So that was kind of a brief overview of all the things that went through in the course of the year. But I'm going to be very real and tell you honestly, it's been a very, very difficult journey because there's a lot of things that I sacrificed. There's a lot of things that I'm scared to share with the world right now because of how much I gave up, how much I threw out the window that is safe and secure, and that I'm not ready to share with the world because I haven't made it yet. but know that I gave up a lot to explore, I mean not explore, but to chase my passion. And someday when I make it, someday when I'm like fully able to stand tall and proudly, although I can do that now, but I want to get to that $100,000 car where I can say all the things that I've sacrificed and have that be so meaningful because of where I am then. But when I began that online business with Vince, I was at a point in life where I had just gotten rejected from my ex-fiance because of not having money to support her, and her family didn't fully approve of me because I was a student with loans, and I just didn't have the financial capacity to support her, and it was very damaging to me, because it wasn't just heartache, it was feeling poor. Like my dad was the only person that worked throughout me growing up. My mom never worked, and I never felt poor because we always felt like we had enough. But at that point in life, like, I felt poor because here I was being rejected from a possible marriage from someone that, I guess I don't want to get into that too deep, but just know that it was it's scarring knowing that it was because of money that I was looked so down upon, even though I was a very intelligent boy. I was in grad school. Like, I had a bright future, but because I didn't have money at the time, I was left behind. And it's comical to me now that she left me for someone who makes $70,000 a year, when now I'm aiming to make that a month. So that's just comical to me. But beyond that, I went through a lot of struggles in this year outside of that point of being jilted. But when I first began working with Vince, he asked me a very, very important question. And he said, why? Why do you want to do this? And at the time, I didn't really understand why he cared, why I wanted to do it. But now I see that is the most important question you could possibly ask anyone, is why do you want to do this? And at the time, I wanted to do it for not only because of that financial heartache, meltdown, or whatever you want to call it. But beyond that, my dad had just recently come out of a heart attack, and there was like $100,000 of loans of medical bills. He wasn't working. I'm the oldest child in the family, and I always felt like I needed to take responsibility. But at that time, it was even more desperate. So I mean, at the time when my ex was leaving me, was around the same time my dad had a heart attack, and all those bills came in, and it was just like that very low point of the parabola. And there was Vince that, had this possible way of not only reaffirming to the world that I was, had financial value, but also being able to stand up for my family. And the reason that and so all my reasonings were very concrete, and even now, my primary reason is to help out my family. More importantly, to get my little brother back from my native country of Bangladesh, which he had to go there because of my dad not being able to fully support my mom and my little brother here. And so that drives me every day. I think about him being there and me being here. It doesn't make sense to me. And altogether, I would say the person that I was then dreamt about being the person that I am today. And I don't know if that sounds arrogant or whatnot, but I'm in line with who I want to become, and that, I swear to you, is worth more than any amount of money that you could ever own, is being in line with who you think you should be and who you feel like you were meant to be. Like, even if like, I want to say money's not everything, but for me, money is my passion. But whatever passion is, if you're in line with your passion, that is the most wonderful feeling in the world. Because I went to school for many years as a bio major, as all of that stuff, and it was artificial feelings towards that. But now I have genuine feelings to what I'm doing, and the fact that I'm actually being able to help people change their life. And although medicine is a great way to help people, feel better about their life and get a new perspective, I think money is also this universal method of helping people, just as health is. And I'm really proud of who I'm becoming, because it's someone that can really change people's life really fast. And you know those success stories where it's like rags to riches? I would say I was at the rags, and I'm not at the riches right now, but whenever you hear someone say, or that someone went from rags to riches, the first question is how. This is the journey of how. This is what I'm explaining right now, is the how. I am in that transitional point where within any month now, I could, within maybe 3 months, I could be at a point where I am making $100,000 a month. That is now a very reasonable possibility. I'm not making that now, but I'm saying that it could happen in any month now. It's at that point. So it's that middle point, not even middle, it's like at that tipping point between rags to riches, that's the part that nobody really sees. Like whenever we watch a documentary, they're broke, and this is their lifestyle as being broke, and this is how they used to live, and this is now them being rich. And then you see pictures of them being broke and stuff like that. But you don't see that middle part, that transition part. This is that middle part. We have an office. We are working every single day. We are here except Sunday, which is our beach day. But this is the grind. This is the hard work. This is all of that takes you from rags to riches. So this is, you always see before and after, but you don't see in the middle. This is in the middle. And I love the fact that I'm a part of a company now. I have 25% ownership of this company. I wear ties. I bought suits on Black Friday. Me and Vince, we both did. And it's like suits are something, I see it as an investment. It improves your image. It improves, it says a lot of things about you. And so I'm loving the way that I dress. I've always wanted to do it, but I didn't have a reason to do it, and now I do. So I feel very in line with who I am, and I feel very, very thankful for being where I am in a year's time. Because in this year, there's been several times when I've lost thousands of dollars. After losing thousands of dollars, I had to get a job, and then I got fired from the job because of lack of hours, and then started something else, and then it came down, and then I got another job, and then I got fired within a week because of lack of business. And it was just like, I really despise corporate America. But beyond that, what I'm saying is that I could have gone into a spiral of continuous failure, of not being able to make. But I'm at a point where I'm no longer working for corporate, and I don't ever plan on working for corporate America. And so is Vince. I think we're all done working. All my business partners are done working for a corporate job. But what I'm saying is that I know people that have gone through that cycle of finding something and then having it break down, or building something then it breaks down, and then going back over and over through that cycle for years and years. And I know one person who's gone through it for 12 years. And for me to now, have started this a year ago and now be sitting at my own office, I am so thankful that I didn't have to go through that very long period of horrible. Failure does have its positives, but I'm saying that I was able to bypass all of that and cut all of that short. And I did fail. I'll be honest. I've lost thousands and thousands. I would say over $30,000. I've lost, but at the same time, I've made a lot of money. And I would say 2013 was the year of me finding myself, of me establishing myself as an entrepreneur, and I've done that. Now that I've gotten my feet wet, now that I know the definition of entrepreneurship, know the work ethic required to be an entrepreneur, now 2014 will be about numbers. It'll be all about numbers, like getting to certain numbers, achieving X amount per week, per day. I know we all, like, this company has tremendous six-figure plus goals per month within the first 2 quarters of 2014, and I can't imagine the last quarter of 2014, but I'm very thankful for what has transpired in my life, because I could have, continued down that path of just being another corporate slave, and I am so thankful every time I go into any sort of food chain or other corporate entity, and I see the employees, and to me they're like zombies. They're like, I almost want to say subhuman, because of them having to follow orders and stuff like that. And I cannot express to you the feeling of driving to your own office and opening it with this is the key. It's like a gold color key. This is the office key, and to be able to open your office in the morning, it's a very sexy feeling. So this is what I wanted to discuss, and I've done a lot of things in this year. I've met people that make $300,000 a month, $500,000 a month. I met a guy while I was working at Walgreens for like a month. I met a guy who was driving my dream car, an Audi R8, and we were chatting, and then I was like, hey, how'd you get your R8? He's like, I have 6 companies that I started. I was like, hey, can we talk or can we hang out? And he's like, yeah, take my number. And so I actually sat down with him, and he, like almost an interview, and he explained to me the work ethics required to be an entrepreneur, to be successful in that, and to have that lifestyle that he does, what sleepless nights he has, and all the work ethics. And I feel like I'm doing that. I feel like every day I come to the office dressed and prepared to take on the world. I'm getting to that point, and I really am. Like, I feel like I'm not wasting my days. I'm not wandering, looking for what it is I'm supposed to do, and I'm in line with who I'm supposed to be. I'm in line with my major definite purpose. I feel like I'm going to become the person I want to become. And for me, I want to achieve that by age 25 is when I want that image of myself as the apotheosis of my perfect self. And I see that happening. And I'm very thankful for all that has happened. And one thing that I just want to bring my brother back, because I went back to the country to leave him there. But that's one of my primary goals for 2014 is bring him back here, and then I can rest more easy and then continue doing entrepreneurship with more ease of mind. But there's a lot of wonderful things waiting for 2014, and just as like I was in that position of looking for something and wanting to change my life, but was looking for the vehicle, I'm trying to now offer that to other people. And for me, what that is just showing people the path, not pushing them on the path, not begging them to be there, but saying, here is a path to financial freedom. This is how it works. This is why it's proven. Do you want to be a part of it? That is all I do, because beyond that point, if you're pushing people to be a part of it, you're implanting your dreams and ambitions to these people that will never get it. And this is why not everyone can be successful. Not everyone can be a millionaire, because you do need people to scrub your shoes. That's the way I look at it. But at the same time, I'm very, very thankful for my business partners. I'm very thankful for all the people that see the vision, and it's just so wonderful to talk to and work with like-minded people, because it's such a lonely feeling being an entrepreneur. It is so lonely. Like 99% of people will not get you. 99% of your friends will not understand you. People will avoid you, ignore you, all these things. But when you get to that point, people will come to you wondering how you got there, and you're like, how did I get here? I've been yelling and shouting and screaming about how, to be a part of it, and then you ask, how did I get here? So it's just very ironic to me. But my goal is not to have everyone join what it is that I'm doing or what it is that this office is helping people do. But my job is to introduce it to as many people as I can, many friends that I have, and have them decide for themselves. Because I swear to you, if I had not made that decision a year ago to be a part of something outside of school, something beyond my comfort zone, the only person to blame would have been myself. So that's what I want to do, is make sure that the only person to blame for not taking action is outside of me. It's that individual. It's not me. It's not, hey Sal, how come you never told me this? Because I have told people after a long time of trying to meet up with them, I finally met up with them and I said, this is what we do. And they're like, why didn't you tell me about this earlier? And I'm like, did you get all the text messages I sent you, all the Facebook messages I sent you? And so I don't want to ever be there and say, Sal, you made your millions, how come you never try to help me out, or any of that nature. I don't want to ever give people money. I want to give them opportunity. But at the same time, like I posted on Facebook the other day, at a certain point, I'll be giving people jobs instead of opportunities. And it's just, I would much rather give people opportunities, but people don't seem very interested in that because it's something out of their comfort zone. But all in all, I want to say that I am very blessed and very grateful for all my business partners and for everyone that has any sort of belief in me, any sort of faith and appreciation for what it is that I'm doing. And thank you for all your support, for everyone that has, comforted me through those dark hours, through those failures, through those dark tunnels. I thank you so much, because I don't know how I got through those. I don't know how I got through it. It's been a crazy uphill battle. There has been times when my bank account has negative balance, several times, overcharge fees and just a lot of things. I remember one time I went to the bank to deposit $1 to pay off bill, and I drove all the way to the bank to deposit $1 because I didn't have enough funds to pay a bill that was due that day, and that was one of the lowest points of my entire year. But let me show you around the office, because this is just a small office. I don't want you to think that this is the office. This is a small room in the office. Let me show you the rest. So this is where we have private sessions with some of the clients. That right there is our badges from Orlando. That's Henry's, Sal's, and Vince's. We went to Orlando for a TEDx Free conference. I also went to Jacksonville. I also went to my country. A lot of traveling this year. These are some chairs. That's the bathroom in there. Sometimes. So we serve food here on those major opening nights and other grand things. Here's the projector. See, the thing about this office is that it came with nothing. Like, it came with absolutely nothing. Everything you see, from that table in that office to these chairs, were ordered or assembled by us. Those things were designed and then printed and then framed. All that happened. Nothing was given to us. Everything from those speakers to that projection to that. I remember shopping for everything. I remember cleaning. All of this is what we do. That was a gift from one of my friends on grand opening day. The balloons I got from Party City. It's just, I know every detail about this office because I put so much time and energy and effort into it, and not to mention money. The chair, we assembled. Table, we assembled. We got the water thing. This is Henry's gift to the office. The curtains, we went through a lot to get the curtains. But the office looks very beautiful. It's a very elegant office. Simple, but very cozy. Very cozy. We had the seats filled on grand opening day. night, and we had people standing here to watch the presentation. We had a guest speaker just this other Friday. She is making $4,000 to $6,000 a day, which is an average of like $150,000 to $180,000 a month. A very dear friend of ours is making that, and we plan on surpassing her within a year's time. So the thing is, for me to have this entity, for me to have access to this office and have ownership of this office, it's just very incredible. So this is the office from the outside, 531 East Sample Road, and that is our company's name. And this is the plaza, which we operate out of. Very beautiful plaza. So the fireworks are starting right now. It is a 10:45. By the way, for anyone who's known me, I've had a red ugly watch for a very long time, and that's because I got that watch because it matches my motorcycle outfit, which is something that I gifted to my friend Vince for everything that he's done for me, and so that he can enjoy one of his passions, which is riding a motorcycle. And I remember going out to get his license and doing the course. I mean, there's a lot of things that I did this year, but one of the things is I changed my watch so it can better match my image, and this watch alone, I think, demonstrates the improvement in my life and where I've come from where I was, for anyone that knows what the previous red plastic watch I was wearing. But this is my home, really. This has become my new home. My actual house has become a place of sleep and storage. This is where I spend my day, my dreams, my goals. This is where it is. And I wanted to just really talk about all of that. I want to talk about all of that was bottled up inside of me, because I've been aiming towards this day for a very long time, and it's finally here. And I'm very much in love with life, in love with living, in love with what it is I'm doing, and I hope that is evident in not only what I'm saying but what I'm doing, and the fact that I work now maybe like 70 hours a week, but it doesn't feel like work. It feels like doing what I would have done regardless. Because when I have hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars, I swear to you, I will keep growing. I will keep doing this because it's a passion, and I want to keep growing. It'll be with nicer toys. It'll be with my Audi R8 and other fancy things, but it'll be just continue to grow. So next year is going to be a very beautiful year, full of surprises, full of awesome things to come, and it's just, I'm very ready to now, like I said, focus on numbers, focus on goals and deadlines and other things, because now that I am an entrepreneur, now that I've given up everything to focus on this, now that this has become who I am, there is no more, because what it was is that in 2013, it was looking for something that worked, looking for something that I could share with others, that I could help others with. I'm now no longer looking. I found it. So all of 2014 will be just growing this thing that I found, no longer searching. Speaking of no longer searching, something else that has very much significantly changed my life is finding love and being in a relationship that has completely not only helped me forget about my ex but also helped me realize why it never worked out with my ex, and why everything, like, it just adds color to every other wonderful thing that's happening with my entrepreneurial life. And I really appreciate having a wonderful, supportive, and very understanding significant other. Like, she has bared so much that I don't think money will ever compare or replace, make up for, although it would certainly help getting her shoe closet. But I'm very thankful for her, and I adore her endlessly. That was a shout out. But all in all, what I'm saying is that life is coming together for me, and I'm I'm not trying to be boastful or arrogant here, but I'm just simply sharing what happens when you pursue something, pursue a passion with like full force and with disregard to everything that tells you not to do so. Because I swear there was so much doubt. There is still so much doubt about what Sal is doing, and the way that people ignore, the way that people just simply don't bother with you anymore. I've lost a lot of friends. I've lost a lot of good friends because of the path that I'm on, and me pursuing my dreams and goals. Like they didn't share that vision for me or for themselves, and frankly, to be honest, I'm willing to lose 100 more friends to accomplish my dreams and live out my goals. I realize who I want to be, and I swear to you, nothing will stop me from becoming what I want to become. And so I have everything that I want to do for 2014, and I'm ready to get to work starting. Well, I was already getting to work on it. Like I've built the platform, the foundation for it, and so 2014 I think will be a much more smoother, more not uphill, downhill ride, as it'll be easier with an already established identity and office. So whatever it takes, like I said, I'm willing to sacrifice and put in the time, effort, energy, money into and making all of my dreams into reality. I appreciate everyone that has ever supported me. Anyone who's ever lent me $1, I appreciate not only you doing that, but I swear to you, it'll come back to you in 100 folds at one point. And just know that wonderful, wonderful things are in store for you. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank my business partners from the bottom and all sides of my heart. And I'm just very thankful for who I've become, because although the opportunities were there, although Vince offered the opportunity, if I never decided to take that chance, I wouldn't be where I am. So I thank him, and I also want to thank myself for allowing me to live out my dreams. So all in all, this year has been maybe the most best year of my life because of all that I went through and the story that it builds for when I'm a millionaire. And I can say, I went through all that. I went through all that, and I never gave up, and I became who I became, and no one can ever deny me the fact that, I didn't work for what I got. People sometimes tell me it's easy making money online, or you're cheating the system or whatnot. You have no idea how much work it goes into. Yes, it's simpler than standing on your feet for 8 hours a day. Definitely simpler than that. But you have no idea how much work it takes, how much you have to be your own boss in terms of you have to discipline yourself to be at, get certain things done by a certain time. So in summation, life isn't at that picturesque point yet, but at the same time, it's not at that point of destitute and devastation that it was a year ago. And so I'm very grateful for the choices I've made, the friends that I have, the friends that have stuck with me through this ride, because it's getting better. It's getting much, much better. And I wanted to thank you all from the bottom of my heart, especially for anyone that's actually took the time to watch this very special day in my life. I want you to know that it means a lot to me, because I know what it feels like to be at the starting point, and now I'm well into my journey, and 2014 brings an entire array of surprises and amazing things in store, because the hard year, the year of difficulty and the starting and breaking and building and having destroyed is over. Like, that was the beginning. That was the first year, because as we all know, the beginning of anything is the most difficult part. And now that we are more firm, that I'm more firmly implanted in the ground, I have my fruits of success will now blossom. As corny as that sounds, but what I'm trying to say is that I got myself together, and now 2014 will be much more collected and planned and successful year, as it'll be about actual numbers, not focusing on what works and what doesn't work. We already figured out what works. Now it's about just pushing it 100%. So Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is now past 11 p.m. and I want to go and actually enjoy the fireworks. Something that kind of indulge myself in a little festivity, which is something that I haven't done in my previous life because I was all about school. But now I can explore into passions and fun and share my life with like-minded friends. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I wish you a wonderful, wonderful New Year's Eve and a beautiful start to what is going to be one hell of a year, if not the year that I reach my $1 million mark. So thank you, and I wish you a wonderful, wonderful evening and an exciting introduction into the year of 2014. Take care and have wonderful success.